What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man, and I know I'm late. But this is Fire Force episode 3, man. Yes, we was waiting. We finally got it. But, and this is my episode discussion / review. Fantastic. I have nothing but high praise for this episode of Fire Force. To me, the whole episode was just so wonderful. We finally got some more insight and in-depth to the world of Fire Force. We found out that the dude behind the scenes from the other Fire is planning something, and he kind of wants Shinra to be on his side for some reason. And we found out somehow that Shinra's brother is alive. Now, that could be the truth or a lie. I don't really know. I don't really trust dude. But some of the points he was making kind of came to fruition about not trusting the Fire Force itself. Because, as you know, when the end came, when Shinra was talking to his captain, we learned some pretty deep stuff, man. But let's talk about the beginning of the episode. It starts off with Shinra being amazed and looking at a character off in the distance. And it's the Osan that saved him when he was little. Now, dude looks cool. Dude has an eye patch. He has gray hair. He has it in a ponytail. And he has his Fire Force jacket. He doesn't wear it all the way. It just hangs on his shoulders. And he has like a shirt with some black. Dude is a cool looking character, man. I can't wait to find out more about him. And I'm hoping he's not evil or like scheming stuff on the side. I hope, because he seems like a cool character, and I would love to get to know more about him. And I just hope he's not a villain later on down the road. But he seems like a cool character, and he's the captain of engine number 1 when it comes to the Fire Force group. And as we learned, there's 8 engines in whole. Well, there's actually 9 engines in whole. It starts from 1 all the way through 8, and then we have 0, which is, I don't know if that's how it's going to go, or is they going to go 0, 1. But either way, there's 9 engines in total. Sorry about the train. But as we learned from the captain that, well, before I get to that, let's talk about the beginning of the episode. And we see this dude, and Shinra goes up to him, and he asks him, does he remember him, or does he remember the fire from 12 years ago? And we all know that that's the fire that Shinra was a part of, where his mom and brother died. So we thought. And then the dude keeps brushing him off, and then Shinra gets up the guts to go talk to him again, and just when he does, that's when the bell rings for them to start the rookie fire games or whatever. It was good. I thought it was going to be something else, maybe like some races, or them kind of like fighting and competing against each other, not doing, but I guess they stuck with the whole theme of them being firefighters, because, you know, that's something that they do in firefighter training. But the bell rang for him to attend to the fire games, so he had to leave. And the dude was like, "What? You're gonna be late?" So he went to attend the game, and then and everybody else is racing inside. And Shinra uses his powers, which I would have done too, and just which is common sense, and jumps straight up to the top and goes to the top level. Now, the thing about that is, now how did the evil guy, which is now I'm assuming Joker, how did he know that Shinra would just be, you know, use his powers and jump straight? I mean, I know they researched him because they showed that at the very beginning of the episode, but at the same time, like, that's something to do with his personality. I mean, well, I guess everybody knows that he wants to be a hero, and, you know, heroes skip all of the minor stuff and go straight to the major stuff. But okay, I'm thinking too much. But he jumps up to the very highest floor, and he confronts the dude. And dude has some cool powers. So I'm assuming he's like a power kinetic too as well. And like he can manipulate, it looked like cards. It looked like he was throwing cards, which is very cool. I'm very interested about him, even though he's a villain. I would love to see how his powers work and how he is going to develop as the main villain, because he looks kind of cool. But then, before I forget, I want to talk about the doctor that was with him. He looks like a doctor because he said he researched and he created the stuff. Now, it looks like he's working for the Fire Force people, because he was on the benches as one of the people to watch. Now, he could either be like, that's a bench that's created just for random people to watch them proceed in this thing, or it could just be like members. And I don't know, he's confusing. He seems like he's maybe within the group, and now that the captain has told us that there's a bunch of factions within the Fire Force group itself. Dude, oh my gosh, Fire Force. It hasn't done this in the previous 2 episodes. It's making you think a lot, man. I'm really thinking because there's a lot of stuff and a lot of behind the scenes and movements and everything that's going on with Fire Force. So I'm definitely intrigued to find out what's gonna come later. But then the dude starts fighting Shinra and they just start going at it. Then he starts telling him stuff about his past, about the fire, and telling him that he can't trust the Fire Force companies themselves, which is weird. And then, you know, we found out why later. And then they get into a full-blown fight. Now, the only thing that about this episode that I really disliked is the chick with the foxfire or whatever. She looks like a cat with the fire. Okay, she bumped into Shinra and somehow he grabbed her boobs and then he grabbed her butt, and that's her gimmick, where she like somehow bumps into people and they end up groping the feel, and somehow it's just they're the perverts. But what's so weird to me is that they done the same thing I said in another review. They're gonna run this gag until they can't run it anymore, because they done the same thing when she bumped into Arthur. She fell butt first on his face. It was funny the first couple times. It's not funny anymore. You keep doing it. It's not funny. I know that's her shtick, but it's not funny. And I don't know, man. It just wasn't funny, and that's going to get annoying really, really fast to me. But then her and Arthur bust in through the doors, and they find themselves in front. Well, the dude almost killed her, and Arthur had to save her. But they find themselves in front of Joker. And Shinra tells them, get those 2 guys out of here. This isn't a part of the competition anymore. This is real. You won't get ahead of me. No, I'm going to fight. And they get nothing. He told you guys this wasn't a part of the thing. This was real. And then, I didn't mention this, but he was using the ashes that they used in the previous episode that collapsed the house. And they like automatically sparked and combusted and started bombs like out of thin air. So that's cool. I want to know what's the deal with that. Or where does that whole doctor that created that come into play? It's very weird. But then we get to him asking Shinra like whether he's gonna come with him or stay, or whether he's gonna be a hero or a devil, and he blows up the whole building, and Shinra saves everybody at that moment, which was very nice. It was a great scene where he he saved everyone, but he kind of lost them when the whole building exploded. He kind of lost the cat chick and Arthur, and he only had the 2 workers, and that's when the dude, which is the old son with the gray hair and the eye patch, he jumped off the ground and jumped up like, I don't even know how many feet that was in the sky, but it was like super high, and he caught old girl that was a part of his company. But dude is so cool. I want to know more about him, man. He looks so cool, and I hope he's not evil. But then Company 8 they don't jump up to save Arthur. They just have this huge sheet and lets him catch and does that. And then he was like, good thing you guys are so manly. And, you know, then we have Maki where she was like, I am not the Gorilla Cyclops. Okay, that's getting a little old too. It was funny the first couple times, but now it's like, I love a good gag and when it's done and it keeps coming and it's funny. But these are, and even some of the newer and some of the other anime I've reviewed, they're okay gags, but they don't need to be done every time. I mean, if they want a good gag that's done well over and over, to me, and that's Kazuma from Konosuba. Kazuma, that's a good gag. Yes, hi, I'm Kazuma. That's a good gag that's done well over and over, in my opinion. But that's pretty much all that happened this episode. And then we find, like I said in the beginning, the captain tells Shinra that there's a bunch of conspiracy and secrets going on within all of the Fire Force companies, which is 1 through 8 and 0. So there's a lot of stuff going on, man. So I really don't want to touch on that because I'll just speculate at this point. But that's all that happened this episode, man. This is your boy Nick Incredible. Don't forget to smash that like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.